गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Objectivity is the foundation of approach in the material science, and therefore every knowledge is gathered in an objective manner. For example, when we study that take zinc in a test tube, add sulfuric acid, there will be a chemical reaction. So, this knowledge of chemistry creates an understanding of objective perception. And this is one of the most difficult hurdle to be conquered by the educated people when they come in the field of scientific inquiry. Because, as we have seen on the first day, the rule is the subject cannot be an object. And we are so much obsessed with the objectivity that we have the arrogance of asking a question to a master, have you seen God? Means what? Unless we see something, we don't believe. One day, one youngster asked me this question. Swamiji, have you seen God? I said, yes. I don't believe. I said, don't believe. He said, no, I don't believe in God itself. How can you see? I said, that is your choice, but I have seen. Then he said, my principle is, unless I see, I don't believe. I said, that is the problem with you, because you are intelligent. Have you seen this particular lady is my mother when you were born? That time your eyes were not open. Then in due time people started telling, this is your mom, this is your mom. You started believing blindly. So acceptance of the mother is a blind approach. And we consider ourselves to be intelligent. After having accepted the mother blindly under the influence of ignorance, that mother tells us, this man is your father. Have you seen your father becoming a father of yours? So this approach in life, unless I see something, I don't accept, is the height of foolishness that intelligent people can climb. Therefore, let us find out what is the problem, why this is so. This is only because we have trained ourselves to be objective in approach. And this objectivity in approach is the barrier between the actual I and the virtual I. You know, those who are studying this computer science, they know there are two realities, actual reality and virtual reality. The virtual reality appears to be, but it is not. And that appears to be virtual reality is taken as the actual reality. And this is how the whole samsara begins. And therefore, to know the worldly things, you don't require special qualifications. If you are little intelligent, and if you are able to remember the things, you can very easily know. Physics, mathematics, chemistry, botany, it's not a big deal. But when it comes to the subjective inquiry, then you require a special qualification. See, there was one mother, she asked me a question about her daughter. Swamiji, please tell me what is better. Medicine is better or engineering is better? I said, for you, looking after the children is better. No, not for me, for my daughter. I said, let me talk to her. I asked her, I said, hey, tell me 2 plus 2, how much? She started doing this. Hey, what are you doing? I am seeing the calculator. So I told her, you are fit to become a doctor. It is not that what is good for me, that depends on what you are good in. See? So also here, when the teacher was talking about the kshetra, the matter, at 3 levels he has told us. At the causal level, first, Mahabhutanyahankaro buddhira vyaktamevacha, and thereafter, at the individual level, Indriyani Dashaikamcha Panchachendriya Gocharaha, and the third is Ichchadvesha Sukham Dukkham Sangata Chetana Dhriti. 3 levels. Cause, effect, and the modifications in the effect. To understand this, you don't require a great brain. But we are finding it difficult even to understand this. Never mind. Now, when it comes to knowing the truth, the absolute without a trace of relativity. See, our mind is so conditioned by the relativity that Einstein spoke of the theory of relativity. He did not talk about the reality of the absolute. See? He did not talk about that. Because mind is objective. And what he has come to a conclusion? When his theory was not understood by many, so one simple Mahatma, he said, look here, don't get lost into that MC square and all that. I'll tell you simply. When you are pulled under compulsion to the Satsang and you keep on looking at the watch, you feel that 73 minutes is a period of few 100 million years. And when you go on your own choice to see a disco and not a discourse, even 10 hours fly like 10 seconds. This is the theory of relativity. See? So, to come to the absolute, we have to transcend the relative. Now take an example. Light and darkness. They are in relation to each other. Light has no meaning without darkness. Darkness has no meaning without light. Health and disease. Riches and poverty. Intelligence and dumb. Beautiful and awful. See? These are in relation to each other. Just imagine. You are the only one in the whole universe. Only one. Will you label yourself as beautiful? Will you call yourself as man or woman? Will you call yourself as rich or poor? Will you call yourself as Hindu or a Christian? Think. And when you reach this absolute, then alone the truth is revealed. But we are so much conditioned that everything that we understand is always in relation to something. And that is how we introduce. Who is she? She is my relative. And from the relative, I want to get the absolute happiness. It will never happen. A relative can give you a relative happiness. Cannot be absolute happiness. And therefore, to come to this absolute, we have to get out of the impact of relativity. Relativity will not disappear, will continue to appear. But you can have an option whether you get influenced by the relativity or not. Take an example to understand this. We stand before the mirror and look at the reflection of our beautiful face in the mirror. This is a relativity. The original face reflected in the mirror, and there is a reflection in the mirror. Now in this experience, what is the experience? Do I experience like this, that I am looking at my reflection? No. Although I am looking at the reflection, experience is I am looking at myself. See? Now extend this. Consciousness expressing through the eyes is vision. Now, whether that consciousness is expressing through these pairs of eyes, which I call as mine, or the consciousness is expressing through the eyes of a donkey, what will be the experience? That the consciousness alone is the real. See, to come to this absolute subjectivity without the influence of the objectivity, we require a technique by which we function in the relative world and we do not get influenced by the relative world. Then you are an expert. There was a child in KG2, KG3, something like that. And mothers are always, glorifying the foolishness of their child. So the mother to Swamiji, our Pintu, he's so intelligent. He is first in the class. Always. The Pintu is a simpleton, sweet, innocent child. Swamiji, I am the only one in my class. So, when you come to know that you are the only one, thereafter, tatra ko mohaha ka shokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. He who has discovered this absolute subject, thereafter, can there be any delusion, anger, frustration, achievement, failure? None of this thing will ever affect. So to come to this position, which position? We function in the relative world, and yet the relative world has no influence on me, the absolute. This is all the spiritual practice. And when you go through this, then you will become qualified to experience what I am talking. Words without meaning is noise. Suppose I talk to you in Chinese. Ching pong pang dang pong. You will say, what are you talking nonsense? Say, I am telling you are all so sweet. Now, you don't understand the meaning of this language. As a result, it is a noise for you. Because words carry no meaning. Be very attentive. A bombshell is going to fall on you. Words carrying no meaning is a noise. Aham Brahmasmi. I I am Brahman. Meaning of I is not known. Meaning of Brahman is not known. Meaning of existence is not known. So Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Hey, what noise you are making? True. See? Therefore, to discover the meaning behind the words, we require a qualification. And that qualification is called as the jnana sadhana, the practice of knowledge. And thereafter the teacher will tell about the absolute. Before that, if it is told, we are likely to mistake. It is something like this. Everything is Brahman? Yes. So I am also Brahman? Yes. Even if I don't know? Yes. Even then you are Brahman. Very good. Then why should I do any spiritual practice? Yes, that is true. So I enjoy my life. See how the knowledge will be deceiving us. And that is why it is necessary we become qualified. Otherwise, the power without wisdom leads to destruction. Again I repeat, we have a gun in our hand, but I don't have the wisdom to use the gun. Like this happens in America. The children carry the gun, but they don't have the wisdom where to use it. So in their own school, and small little fights. He was going after my girlfriend. And what is the age? That boy is 10 years and a girl is 9.5 years. Or maybe 10.5 years. Now at the age of 10, they have this big problem of Laila Majnu. What wisdom? Think. Therefore, this knowledge is so terrible, so powerful, that unless we are wise to hold, it cannot be. See, in the language of Bhagwan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he is to tell that this knowledge cannot be given to everybody. And he is to quote one example. There is a saying, Kim Vadanti, that if you milk a tigress and the milk is collected in any pot, the pot breaks, except if the pot is made out of gold. In the same manner, this divine knowledge about the absolute being, when it is received by a one who is buried under relativity, he becomes mad. That body cannot continue longer. It is something like, a zero power bulb, and you put a tremendous amount of electrical energy. It will be immediately fused. Therefore, it is in our interest that we prepare. Otherwise, small little things happen and we get disturbed. The other day, where it happened, young man met me. Swamiji, can you explain one thing? I said, what is that? In Delhi. What is that? I have never taken drinks. I have never eaten non-vegetarian. I have never smoked. I do regular exercise. I lead a very pious and decent life. And yet I had such a terrible heart attack at a young age of 30. And after that I am alright, but again the burden is on my head. Why this happens? I said, because you did not drink, because you did not smoke, because you did not enjoy life. You were carrying the load of goodiness on your head. Do you mean I should stand? I said, yes, start and see how long you live. See, All this kind of funny things, this is not wisdom. Wisdom is to grow out of the impact of the relativity. That is wisdom. And for that, what is the technique? Now the teacher says, Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam asakti anabhishwangaha putradara gruhadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopavattishu mai chananya yogena bhaktiravya vicharinim viviktadesha sevitvam aratirjana samsadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etajnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. In these 5-6 verses, teacher has pointed out 20 points spiritual practice. If these 20 points are properly understood and practiced in life, we are likely to be wisdom worthy. Without this, we will be philosophy worthy. You know the difference between philosophy and wisdom? When the wisdom is made available for others, it is called as philosophy. When the philosophy is practiced in one's life and one refuses to be miserable, then it is called as wisdom. Therefore, wise people don't grieve and the fools do nothing but grieve. So, those who are not practicing this knowledge and only talking wisdom, they are the philosophers. I was in first time when I went to Singapore, so they looked at me and they say, what for you are going? Because on my the application it was written philosopher. So he said, what for you are going? I said, I am just going to see your beautiful country. You are not going to give lectures? I said, no. But you are written philosopher. I said, yes, philosophers are those who are not wise. So he looked at me. That means you are nice? I am not wise. Had I been wise, I would never have come to your country. Okay, you will not give lectures? I said, no, I have no interest in talking. I just come to enjoy. So, philosophy and wisdom. So, this is meant for converting the knowledge into wisdom. The first step. Amanitvam. I shall tell you in short all these 20 points. This is very, very important topic. Let us see how we are able to go with. Amanitvam. First. Amanitvam means what? Mana means calibration or measurement. We all measure ourselves. How? Whenever we write an application, first, date of birth. I don't know why they don't write the date of probable death. Date of birth. That means before that I was not there. Then height. So beyond that I am not. Then the weight. I don't know whether they write weight or not. I never filled in the application. Then the weight. 10 tons. So, who am I? Conditioned by time. 16 years for last 30 years. The ladies never grow in age. You know that? There was, olden days in UK, the theatres used to be there. And, the European ladies, particularly European, and that too ladies, and that too from British. Horrible is the height. So they used to put on big, big hats and go to attend that theatre. Naturally, people sitting behind can't see. Like, in our country, when you are sitting and one sweet Sardarji comes and sit in front of you, then you do like this. According to his head, you also keep on moving. This happens. So there, a huge cap on the head. Now the management had a problem how to remove that. You can't say anybody remove your hat. It is insult. So one genius Indian told, I'll do it. How much will you pay me? He must be a Sindhi. So he struck a deal and he went next day and told, all those who are above 40 are allowed to keep their hats because we respect the elderly people in our country. All the hats came down. Because no lady ever grows above 40. So, we cut ourselves with the axe of time. Second thing, we cut ourselves with the axe of space. This much alone I am, not beyond this. And we cut ourselves with the axe of object. This alone I am, this hanky I am not. So I have measured myself and separated myself from the total world. That is called as manitvam. And because of that, all the problems of life begin. You must have seen even, when the Mahatmas go in the big congregation, here also we get a huge stage and a dozen of them will be sitting. And then in that there is also the hierarchy. The other day I was in Goa or somewhere and one Mahatmaji came and with him all the paraphernalia came. Somebody with a, danda in the hand, somebody with a fan, somebody with this thing, and somebody with that cloth. So when he sees the cloth is kept over there, and everything was over, Pada Puja and every kind of thing. I was enjoying the whole cinema. When I was sitting, then other people who were, Swamiji, why don't you keep somebody like that, we felt so bad, you are simply going and sitting like that. At least you keep somebody who can keep asan for you. I said, I'll tell you secret. Don't tell anybody. Do you know why these Mahatmas keep the asan before they sit? No. I said, when the children are put on a bed, don't you put a rubber sheet. That is the secret. Don't tell. They have doubt about themselves. If they see something happens then. So it is good, we have our own asan and we'll go back. What kind of honor and dishonor? This is all self-created. It has no stability. It has no meaning at all. But then God has given us a wonderful intellect that we can justify everything in this world. There is nothing which cannot be justified. Foolishness can be justified gloriously. So, amanitvam, the first step. Let us understand this, that the honor and dishonor, the name and the fame that we think of with reference to this wretched body has no meaning whatsoever. But the whole life is lived by the body, for the body, on everybody. And then we consider ourselves to be the most intelligent, prosperous people of an overdeveloped nation. Isn't it? You know that, the comedy of the modern thinking. This happened in Coimbatore Medical College. They have opened a new department. I told this to you last time. A new department of geriatrics. I never knew what is the meaning of geriatrics. So, but we are fit everywhere. So I went there with all the seriousness. Because all were 70 not out, 75 not out. Then I said, why all old people have come over here? Anyway, I went and sat. And then the program started. One doctor from USA. He presented his lecture and slides. This is my house. First slide. You are talking on geriatrics. What is the need to show the house? America, that is the way. This is my house. First slide. Second slide. This is my wife. In the same order. Third. This is my dog. See the importance given. And then everything started. And slowly I came to know geriatrics means science of the oldies. It's called as geriatrics. Like your pediatrics, geriatrics. And then one after another they started giving lecture. And by this, life can be extended, this can be done, this can be done. And after 2-3 hours of suffering, I had to go and inaugurate. So I said, first of all, I hold you all doctors responsible for increasing the population of this world. Why? Not because the children are born, therefore the population is growing. You people don't allow the old people to die, and therefore the population is increasing. If you see in the whole world, the balance has become so disturbed. New generation is not coming out. And what is required? The new genetic material with all the possible beautiful combination. That should come up. And old stuff must get out of this world. But our science is increase the longevity and destroy the new crop coming up. See? Amanitvam. We have to get out of this wrong notion that body alone is everything. Even if you live for, let us take 110 years, so what? And when you die and go to the Lord, He will ask, Arey, Gupta ji, yes. You have been sent to the world as a human being, yes. You lived for 110 years, yes. What did you do? What did I do? Yes. Please note down, sir. Yes. I have consumed 3 truckloads of rice. Good. I have consumed 10 truckloads of vegetables. Very good. I have consumed few tankers of milk. Excellent. No, but what you have done, what you have produced? A homogeneous excreta. That is all. Is that the purpose of our life? Think. Unless some higher principle in life inspires us, life is only a burden that we carry on our head. And then we are nothing but complaints about everything in this world. Because I am the body, with this notion alone we live. Therefore, the first qualification, rise above the body identification, amanitvam. In one place, they have made a group, Mahila Vedanta Mandal. And they have called me, Mahila Vedanta Mandal means Ladies Vedanta Society. So, they called me to inaugurate. I went there. I said, first mistake you have done, you have called me. Because I am not a ladies. Second thing, you talk about Vedanta and you are not ready to give up your man-woman thought. I am not talking as a man to you as a woman. Think. But whole life is spent only in this one thought. Body. Amanitvam. Second thing. Because we are so much buried under the body identification, therefore the second thing is dambhitvam. So, adambhitvam. What is the meaning of dambha? Dambha means what we are not, that we try to project. What is that? It is the, Western approach of prosperity. Do you remember our Eastern approach used to be what earlier? spend money according to your earnings. Isn't it? First earn, save and then spend. What is the Western approach now? First spend and then whole life go on earning, only to spend that money, pay back. Therefore the whole life is so tense. Who asked you to buy a car which you can't afford? No, that is the status symbol. Because banks are giving loan. See? Those who are not ashamed of living under the load of debts, are they human beings? See? And when you are not able to do anything, declare bankruptcy. So all those people who have given you money on trust, gone. And how long this is valid? Only for 7 years. After 7 years, again start cheating the world. The more you can cheat legally, the more smart you are. Dambha, dambha, dambha. Hypocrisy. Adambhitvam. There is no need to project ourselves what we are not. There is no need. But when our whole life is tuned to that, do you think that we will be ever able to project or focus our mind on the self? It cannot be. And this is not in the material field. This is also in the spiritual field. Bhagwan Shankaracharya writes in one place, when the Bhagavad is sitting all by himself, bidi chal rahi hai, and suddenly he smells somebody is coming, immediately the bidi is put off, and a Turkish towel is kept, and Bhagavad is in meditation. Like in they have got close eye meditation, open eye meditation, one eye meditation. Who has covered it? See, Dambha. To whom are we deceiving? Think. Therefore, Adambhitvam. Let us be sincere and true to every small little thing that we do. Then only the spiritual progress is possible. Sincerity is a requirement to enter on the spiritual path. Sincerity supported by commitment. Never do anything half-heartedly. Whenever we do anything half-heartedly, we slowly develop that character. And those people who have lived a half-hearted participation in life, they get bored very soon. I don't feel like doing anything, I am bored. Then, what do you want? I don't want it. Let us go to Pizza Hut. I am bored at home. Say go to Pizza Hut. One day, I am bored there also. Then, let us go to McDonald's. This kind of life, wherein we are easily getting bored only because the mind has not learned the art of getting available wherever required. Mind makes us dance. Therefore, amanitvam adambhitvam. Now third, amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa, the third thing. Ahimsa means, the normal translation is non-injury, non-violence. You know about this ahimsa, non-violence, huge books are available. I'll tell you in short. The highest violence is cutting the infinite that we are to the finite imaginary individuality. That is the highest violence. Our Valmiki Ramayana tells, Anyatha santam atmanam manyatha pratipadyate kim tena na krutam papam chorena atma apahana. We are essentially divine. But that divinity is as if killed. And we start living as a miserable being. See? Asuryanamate loka andhena tamasavrata tagamste pretyanu gachanti yekecha atma hano janaha. Those who are leading a suicidal existence. See, killing others is better than killing yourself. When you kill others, at least there is a possibility that you may improve. But once you kill yourself, everything is over. And what is that himsa? That himsa is only one thing. And that is accepting the sense of otherness is the hinsa. See, when my own tongue is bitten by my own teeth, that time the himsa, the violence takes place? No. That time will the tongue go to the dentist? Dentist, knock, knock. And then who is there? They say, tongue, remove these two fellows. They have beaten me. No. Violence is possible only when a sense of otherness is valid. You must have experienced this. This is typical of UP and South India, both the places. When they meet their friends, they hit. I have one South Indian Swamiji as my friend. One day I told him, I said, look here, be domestic. I am not wild like you. Whenever we meet, he will hug so strongly, and he is a buffalo. He will hug so strongly, I feel I am going to be squeezed out now completely. And when we sit together, he will simply do like casually. But when he does like this thing, this thigh is broken into pieces. So when he beats like that, I know he is my friend and he is little wild type. It's okay. It is not considered as violence. But if somebody who does it, then it is violence. Meaning, violence is defined when the sense of otherness is valid. Ahimsa. And what is that which creates the sense of otherness? When I consider myself to be this body, naturally all others are separate other than me. Then man, woman, young, old, Hindu, Muslim, black, white, all the problems begin only because of this basic mistake that we take ourselves to be body. See, I was in South Africa about 9 years back, 10 years back. That time they had just come out of that apartheid. And the blacks started growing wild. They are already there, but now it was an open wildness. As if the whole world owes everything to them. And I was sitting there and they were talking about. I said, look here, it is very easy to condemn somebody, but do you know it is only the whites who have brought your South Africa as the best country in the whole African continent. Today your rand is almost equivalent to the dollar. The whole country is so beautifully planned, such wonderful landscaping, such excellent infrastructure. Everything is there. And see the other countries, and I guarantee you, another 10 years, your country will be worse than India. Because in India we have done the same thing. See, to condemn somebody is very easy. Because why? They are white, we are black. This is in our head. Nowhere it is. When you are in a deep sleep, you are a black or a white. Therefore, amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa. Non-violence is possible only when we are able to discover a common factor. Then only non-violence is possible. Violence is possible only when differences are seen and the common denominator is ignored. So, amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshantihi. Next one. Kshanti and shanti, these are two words. Shanti means that is our natural state. Naturally, we are all at peace. That is why all of us want to go to sleep. What is the reason? The reason is that is our nature. Whatever we may run around, we want to go to sleep at peace. That is the Shanti. Second is Kshanti. Shanti is what? Even if there is a reason to get disturbed because of the world, and yet our inherent peace is not destroyed, that ability is called as Shanti. See? When we have this faculty, what faculty? Let us, take a commitment to ourselves. I shall not get disturbed, may what happen. See, you must have seen here, you are coming so many times. Many times, there are some Mahatmas. They cannot tolerate even this much of little bit here. Boom. Immediately, Dharma Kshetre, Guru Kshetre, Samaveda, Yutsava. They just cannot tolerate. I told you last time, about maybe 4 years before. I was in Calcutta. And that time I was young. Blood is to ooze out. Kind of thing. And I was with our Swami Akhandanji Maharaj. And it was a Marwadi crowd. Marwadi crowd means most disorganized crowd. It's called a Marwadi crowd. So, the whole crowd was sitting over there. And Maharajji was sitting there. He was having his cataract. He cannot see properly. His cancer was becoming bad every day. And we went and put him on the seat like a Ganapati Bappa. He was like that only. Ganapati Bappa. And then one person got up and was reading the question. It was more of a question paper rather than a question. And so much of noise going around. And I was sitting next to Swamiji. I was thinking, with this noise and disturbance, how will Swamiji understand the question? And how will he reply? I don't know why these people are making such noise. And after that fellow finished reading this question, Swamiji was absolutely undisturbed. And he restated the same question in different words. And in the restatement of the question, the answer was revealed. See? This is called as Kshanti. It is our choice. Whether we get disturbed or we don't get disturbed. So, whenever we get disturbed, remember, you have opted. Therefore, you are getting disturbed. Remember last time when there was some kind of procession going here, dang, 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 dang going, and I was talking. So, I told you one experiment. Now, those who are getting disturbed because of the sound, because they are listening to that. Those who are listening to me, they are not getting disturbed. So, Kshanti is that faculty in us which stops us getting disturbed by any external source of disturbances. So we remain at peace all the time. Such a seeker alone will be able to understand, recognize what is the meaning of the Absolute. So, amanitvam, adammitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, then arjavam. Arjavam is straightforwardness. Now please understand, straightforwardness does not mean being curt. Many times we imagine that being curt is being straightforward. No. Straightforward means we do not take the things in the wrong way. Suppose you ask somebody, hey, why are you late? Oh, actually, when I started, somebody came and I had to wait for this. Now, he said like this thing. But what I understand, these people always bluff. On what basis can we say that others are lying? See? It is our mind alone which is projecting and seeing the world. If we see the ugliness in this world, it is because that ugliness is in us. Papi sarvatra papam ashankate. See, a dirty-minded person sees dirt only on the outside. In the same world, the great masters lived. But they have not seen dirty thing in this world. Why we see? Because that is in us. Therefore, Arjavam, refuse to misunderstand anybody. See? The more you refuse to misunderstand, understand your mind is pure. Misunderstanding is a reflection of biasness in the mind. Let us make it very simple in life. Why should we suspect? Why should we think wrong? Why should we go on argumentation? No. Things are yes. He said it must be so. Over. Do you know why this is required? By this, we unload the unwanted load from our mind. A crooked-minded person is carrying unnecessarily load on his mind. Like, the other day, I was with somebody, friend of mine. He was sitting in his shop. He said, Swamiji, please come and sit here on my gadda, SHG. I said, if I sit there, then I'll put my hand in that, your collection box. Swamiji, everything is yours. Standard dialogue of the rich people. I said, all right. Try true. I said, now the first beggar comes, I'm going to give everything. Swamiji, you are really full of wit and humor. I said, no, this is true. And we are sitting. And after some time, morning, about 9-10 o'clock, just now the market opened. One man was coming with a khadi shirt and a pajama, with a shabnam bag, a typical poet. He was coming. And he told me, see now that man is coming. He is coming for collecting some donations. I can smell people from a distance. He said. I said, is it the last life's inheritance? Do you know who smells everything? Not only dog, Americans also. Anything you give to an American, first they will smell and then eat. Somebody asked me, why they do like that? I said, Purva Janma Samskar. No, it is not their fault. So, he said that I smell he has come for collecting some funds. I said, then give, I will give on your behalf, don't worry. He came, he said, is this the shop of Mr. Junjunwala? Yes. What do you want? He said, do you have any friend in Calcutta? Yes. Now this is the phone number of your friend. You please dial. I want to talk to him for your work. Kind of a riddle. So we dialed. And when he spoke to that, he said, I have come to this person and you please confirm he is the same person. So he phoned. And I, Junjunwala ji, sab theek hai, everything is fine. Yes. Now this man who has come, through him, I have sent for you a draft of 50,000 rupees which was due to be given. So kindly accept from him and give the receipt to him only. So now this man who has come to collect donations has given him the draft of 50,000. Then it was my time. You smell, is it not? The people from a distance. See, it is our biasness which does not allow us to see the potent divinity in everything in this world. Let us remove this biasness. Friends, to see divinity in mother, father, guru is very simple. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. The real taste is when you stop suspecting wrong intentions in anybody around you. If you are pure to the core, nobody will harm you in this world. That is why Rujutvam Arjavam. And when we are crooked, the world will be like that for us. So, Ahimsa, Kshantirarjavam, then Acharyopasanam. Next one. Acharyopasanam means Upa means near, Asanam means sitting. Acharya means the teacher. The technical meaning of the word Acharya is not Guru. See, there are two things. One is Guru, second is Acharya. Acharya is the one who collects the relevant information from the scriptures and makes it available for the disciple so that the disciple can practice in his life. That is the meaning of Acharya. Acharya will not make you a weakling. Otherwise, but don't worry. I am there, why do you worry? So that fellow becomes more lazy. See? We should be very clear. Those who will bring out a creeper out of us, they are not our real well-wishers. See? We have to discover inner strength. I'll tell you about this one example. One day one lady told me she wants to stop smoking. So she said, Swami, you tell me I'll stop smoking. I said, no, Mama, I'll not tell you. You smoke. You look so sweet when you smoke. I'll not. No, but why not? I said, because I don't want. You can't compel me. You can't buy me. You are very peculiar, Swamiji. I said, I am peculiar. What can you do? I am like that. And then she failed so badly. I thought at least she will help me. I said, no, I have never helped anybody. My rule of my life is, I don't want to help anybody. Very simple rule. And then after 2-3 months again I met her. She said, Swamiji, I left smoking. I said, who cares? Are you obliging me or what? Swamiji, you are not feeling good. I said, why should I feel good? Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. You read it and smoke. To such a fool, what to talk? You have to decide. And not only decide, discover your inner strength. You can do that. As if I had told you, stop smoking. Throughout your life, you would have been my slave. So I could not do anything. Only one Swamiji told, and I really stopped. Swamiji is great. He has got some divine powers. Therefore, whenever there is a power failure, I go to the powerhouse. Anybody who makes you dependent, anybody who makes you a weakling is not your well-wisher. See? Acharyopasanam. Acharya is the one who brings out the dormant divinity out of you. And what is the meaning of Upa-asanam? Upa means near. Asana means sitting. That doesn't mean all the time go on pressing the things, This is a very typical scene you must have seen. Mahatmaji, Babaji, seva is going on. What is that seva? Swamiji, I'll press your feet, they are paining, very good. Then, what else? Hands, yes, hands are paining. You press the hand. What else? Now the throat is paining. Squeeze it out. That is not Acharya Upasana. Upa is near. Find out where the teacher is sitting. Is the teacher sitting in the body, as the body, for the body, or the teacher is rooted in the absolute reality? So come to that level where the teacher is. Don't pull the teacher down. See? You grow up there. Acharyopasanam. There are two types of people approaching the teachers. One type is the one for whom the teacher changes. They are called as devotees. And the second is called as disciples. Disciples are those who are ready and wanting to change themselves according to the instruction given by the teacher. Most of us belong to the former category. We go to the Mahatmas and we tell them, Swamiji, you do this, Swamiji, you do that, Swamiji, you should not do this thing. So after so many years of this professional career, I have come to this conclusion that in this world I am here to listen to everyone. Swamiji, you come for food. Yes. So they will bring food. I said, I don't want sweet, I don't eat. No, it can be, we have brought so much, you have to eat the sweet. I said, but I don't want to eat. Who cares? You have to eat. Right? And if you don't eat, I have brought it with such great love for you, Swamiji. Your love is killing me. Never mind. How never mind? So there is one kind of people approaching the teacher wherein they want the teacher to dance to their tune. Do you know why there are people more of this kind with the Mahatmas? Because to such people nobody listens. So they get a ready-made guinea pig victim in the Mahatmas. That Mahatma is so good, I know he doesn't eat sweets. I know he doesn't take anything made out of milk. But when I take, I make him eat and he eats. Acharyopasanam. And the second type of students, they are wanting to change themselves. Please remember, those who are ready to change and wanting to change themselves, to them only the truth is revealed, not to the others. Devotees are those who are constantly crying and they want the shoulder to rub their nose. Nothing else. So, Acharyopasanam means let us rise ourselves to the same foundation where the teacher is seated. Acharyopasanam. Further, Shaucham. Shaucham means external cleanliness supported by inner purity. Together is called as Shaucham. Not only external cleanliness. See, in our Kavindadham, Lonavala, there was one international conference. And people from almost about 10, 20, 30 countries came. So naturally we have to accommodate the people. And to one of our girl students, there was another girl lady from some European country came. And she was put with her. And within 3 hours that girl came. She said, Swamiji, if I go and stay with the other girl, will you mind? I said, no, do whatever you like. Then she went and stayed there. After the whole camp, everything was over, conference was over. I said, why did you change from that room? Swamiji, it was impossible to stay in that room. She must not have taken bath for 300 million years. Her clothes were stinking. The socks were never washed. And the atmosphere around her was so divine that you get pranayam instantaneously. You can't breathe. See? Shaucham is external cleanliness supported by inner purity. Only external cleanliness is not enough. Both are equally required. Shaucha. Now, the real Shaucha is what? Real purity is what? Real purity is where there is no trace of otherness in the mind. Now, be very attentive to understand this principle. I'll give you one very dirty example so that you don't forget. We are all sitting over here. We are all educated and literates. And we all know what are the contents of our trunk. Lower portion, there is a GI tract. Upper portion, there are lungs. In the GI tract, in the large intestine, there is sufficiently accumulated fecal material. And there is something called as a bladder which is containing a sufficient amount of urine. Now think about that in your mind. You will never get a feeling of disgust and horrible feeling. You will never get. Try. The moment it comes out, look at it. This is my creation. You don't want to look at it. But it has come out of you only, sir. Now why there was no hatred? Because that was included in the definition of I. There was no sense of otherness. So what is the real Shaucham? Real purity is when the sense of otherness is totally rejected from our knowledge. That is the real Shaucham. As long as we keep on carrying the load, that I am a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, I am a Hindu, Musalman, Christian, I am very pure, and these are non-vegetarian, vegetarian, Ram. These vegetarian people are such terrible ones. There was once, a conference, Reverence for Life, 3 days conference. People from about 30-40 countries came. I was there to conclude the whole session. 3 days I suffered. And 3 days they were talking only on one topic, vegetarian. And the non-vegetarians were condemned in such bad words that those who are the non-vegetarians, they are the mobile graveyards of the dead animals. Ram. So much of hatred. And when my turn came to conclude the session, I said, I have changed my prayers after attending this conference. I have asked the Lord, oh Lord, in the next life, kindly make me a pumpkin, 100% vegetarian. I told them, I said, look here, is this world less divided? Hindu versus Christians versus Muslims, blacks versus white, overdeveloped versus never developed. See, is there less criteria for dividing the society? Men versus women? As if this is less division, you want to add one more. Vegetarian versus non-vegetarian. What are you achieving? And those who were talking about them, they were having a poultry farm. See? Therefore, the real Shaucha is accepting the whole world with the hug of compassion and oneness. That is real purity. Then only the truth will be revealed, not otherwise. Shaucham. Thereafter, Sthairyam. Sthairyam is stability in life. Sthairyam begins from, those who are following the path of yogas or the Hatha Yoga. For them, Sthairyam is the posture of the body. In one posture, if you are able to sit without getting disturbed, without changing, without moving, what happens is, you develop a faculty called as the ability to tolerate. Many of us have got zero level of tolerance. Little bit here and there, we get upset. And those who get upset very easily, they cannot set up on the right path. First. So, the asanam sthairyam, the stability in the posture. This is one understanding. Second is stability about the goal of life. See? What we want in life. Every now and then, Ganga gaye Ganga das, Jamna gaye Jamna das. Clarity about the goal. Third, clarity about the path that we are taking. Otherwise, you go to Vrindavan, Sri Radhe, Sri Radhe, Sri Radhe. Krishna is deleted. Then go to Dwaraka, There Dwarkadish Bhagwan ki jai, Ranjhodadas ji ki jai, Giridhari Lal ki jai. Then you go to Varanasi, Bambole, Bambole, Bambole. And then you come to Bombay, 828 local. So, there is no stability about the goal, no stability about the path, no stability about the lifestyle. Such constantly flickering personalities can never attain anything in life. Stairyam. See how important it is. There was a person, young boy, he met me, he said, Swamiji, I got some problem. I start many jobs with great enthusiasm. But after 3-4 days I stop that. Then I get new idea. I think if I do that, and this I leave halfway. And then I start again something new. And that I continue for few days, then I drop that. As a result, I have got many incomplete projects in my hand. Now I have got a project to complete all of them, and nothing happens. This is only because lack of stability in thinking, lack of stability in approach, lack of stability and confirmation about the goal of life. And therefore, such people will never be able to study and recognize the truth. So, Stairyam, and then comes Atma Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha, Atma here means the mind. Vinigraha means absolute control over mind. Please understand. Parking the car in the garage and locking the car is not a control over the car. Control over the car is you go through the traffics of Ahmedabad. And yet you do not get hurt or don't hit anybody. That is what is called you have got control over the car. In the same manner, this mind we come across in this world. And yet, the mind is no more a burden, a load that we carry, because the mind is fully under our control. Now, what is the meaning of keeping the mind under control, etc.? That we'll see in tomorrow's class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.